Welcome to SoulFish. I am super happy you're here. I'm David. I'm a psychic empath and intuitive. I help you to open up, shed your baggage so that you can thrive here in the third dimension. This is a channel for spiritual growth and personal development. You know, and I was thinking a lot and being kind of called to share, what does it mean to create plans but then let go of your work? Or how do you form plans that you really want, but then you're also saying, hey, I want to be led, I want to be directed, I want to be able to listen to source and spirit, to tap in so that I know that I'm in my right place. So I want to form plans, I want to make these changes, but then I'm also hearing you say, hey man, don't put any real shape to that. Don't put the outline together that says I'm going to do A and then I'm going to do B and then I'm going to do C. So that's a tough one, right? Like, it almost seems counterintuitive or contradictory what I'm suggesting. And yet, what if you could make a change in a way that changes your feelings? So what if you could visualize, using your imagination or what have you, what if you could visualize whatever it is that you want to be next, wherever you want to be next? Put yourself into a feeling state of saying, I'm now doing this. My life looks like this when I get up in the morning, looks like until I go to bed at night, right? And what you want to do is you want to sit with that feeling of things that you might be doing during the day and how that makes you feel. So you want to visualize you doing certain things. But the concept here is not so much even what you're doing as much as the feeling you're evoking. Remember, the art of prayer is to feel like you've already received that which you want. So that's how prayer works. So what the universe will deliver back to you, what you're feeling in that way. So if you think to yourself, I'd like my day to look like this, right? And you're feeling that space, but you try not to say at 8 o'clock I'm going to do this, and then at 9 o'clock I'm doing that, and at 12:30 I'm having, creating a lunch break, and then at this, and then that. What you're trying not to do is create small angles, small little chops. What you're trying to do is create a feeling so that you move through your day as a feeling, as a vibe, right? That you're with the energy that is flowing for that day instead of being in resistance to it. We spend all day long thinking that we're the masters of the universe. We spend all day long thinking that somehow, I'm here and I'm going to shape my own destiny instead of realizing that I'm supposed to co-partner with my destiny. My destiny is written. There are certain things that are going to occur, why I'm here. In other words, part of my purpose. These little blips that made David being unique here in this place with all of you guys. And just like you guys have the same thing going on, these blips in your life, which is why you were put here, right? So as we're thinking through this, I want you to try to create a model for yourself where it's kind of upwardly mobile like this. So you have this strong foundation down here. But any of these things could happen as long as they're within your energy vibe. I had to look at the screen there to make sure what I'm doing is even on it. But I want you to understand that what you're trying to do here is create a vibe. You're keeping in mind that, again, we've talked about, 1 out of 10, right? Like if you could maintain a 5, how would your decisions look as a 5? What kind of thoughts would you have as a 5? What kind of people would you be hanging with if you were a 5? Where would you be if you were a 5? What would you be doing if you were a 5? Because keep in mind, you're staying there. You're staying in that space. And that's what changes everything, is when you can control your beingness. And by controlling it means living it. Not willpower like, I have to operate this way or think, or somehow this is a fake thing. This is all organic. As you change yourself, your thoughts change. What you're wanting to do changes. How you're wanting to express yourself changes. And from all of that means that your whole environment, everything that you're surrounding yourself with starts to change. And it all gets lifted up. And then as people come into your space, they're also lifted up. Now imagine if I'm doing that and you're doing that and we have 100 of us doing that. Imagine what we could lift up together. Just if all of us came up a point, if all of us just said, hey, we could do this as a point. What if there were 1,000 of us, 10,000, 100,000 of us? That's what I want. I want thousands of us every day in small actions, raising ourselves up just even a little bit, because then that raises everyone up a lot. And imagine how cool a place this would be from that space. So when you're thinking about laying out your plans, we're in this in-between time, and plans are starting to coagulate, coalesce, form, right? So as you're thinking about, hey, where is it that I really want to be? Where do I want to go? How am I wanting to feel? I want you to put yourself in that feeling place to really think about what it is that you're trying to accomplish. We spend all this time on exterior actions in order to evoke a feeling, to live in a certain place, right? In other words, to that place or state of peace, security, stability, right? That kind of location, that's what I'm talking about. So imagine if your focus wasn't so much on that anymore, because you were just doing the work and being able to let go. You were listening to what you're being told and then spending your time on executing upon that. Imagine if your model was more open-ended, like this, more upwardly mobile, so that if you were just focusing on this feeling and your purpose, the general purpose, and realize that once you do that, everything else follows, everything else is given to you once you come from that state. Imagine what you could do and become and how you'd reach your potential. Imagine how you wouldn't be carrying around so much frapping stress, right? Of what am I supposed to do, and then how am I supposed to do it, and then go do that on top of. It's tough, man. It's tough, and we spend our life doing that as a distraction because we don't want to really, dig deep and try to fix what's going on here so that we can view things differently here. It's so weird. It's like we try to go out there and kind of dominate the way the system works, kind of succeed in this system instead of and yet complain about it and say, man, this system doesn't make a lot of sense for all that we're doing, right? And yet we're saying, well, we're powerless to do a change. So we'll just vote, or we'll do this, we'll do that. I'm so burnt hearing about politics, man. It's so much about distraction in this place when, we don't really have to be governed. I mean, what if we all fixed ourselves? What if we all came from a 5? What if we could lift the whole world up to a 5 out of a 10? Nobody need to be governed, because there's nothing in my mindset at that says, hey, I'm going to try to burn somebody, or hey, let's go to war for fun. It's just not going to happen. Like, that's not where you're coming from, so therefore it's not any of your options. It's not in your spatial consideration, right? So what I've tried to figure out is that the only way I can really make a positive change in this place, in this world that we're in, which is what I'm here to do, is to A, fix me so that I'm better, and then B, share with you as I'm called to do so that it's easier for you to find and follow your path. And it's not ever going to be easy. That's probably the wrong way. But at least you'll have some support and some ideas and tips and training and guidance in helping to find and follow your path. And that is a big, big help for all of us. So remember that you're wanting to evoke a feeling. Remember that the way your life changes is based upon how you're feeling day to day about your fulfillment, about the impact you make, about what you're seeing and experiencing, and how that motivates you or does not motivate you. This is the time where all of those things can come into an alignment. But you have to be setting your kind of structure in a very loose way, like an amoeba that says, here's the loose form, so that all of this opportunity can happen within it, instead of trying to be regimented and drill down on everything. Create the right intention, do the work, and let go.